As always, brothers and sisters, thank you for watching, and if you do enjoy my artwork, please remember to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, as you will see them on those three networks first. Thanks.
One Piece, Chapter 58, Crap Geezer.
Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the I would say touching and epic tale of One Piece. Our last chapter left us, the entire chapter was a flashback and showed us the initial meeting between Sanji and Red Leg Zeff. And of course, they started out hating each other. They still hate each other. Red Leg wound up diving in after Sanji, and they wound up being marooned on this rock that's protruding up from from the sea, from the ocean. So at the end of the chapter, or towards the end of the chapter, we saw Red Leg go and take a rock and smash through his own leg. We don't know how much time had passed, but we obviously now know how he got the peg leg. So this chapter starts off, and again is entirely a flashback, but really a great character development chapter. And I shouldn't say the entire chapter; the majority of the chapter is a flashback. It starts out and it shows us, because now they've gone to either side of the rock, and Red Leg had divided up the food and said, "Here, I'm going to take this bag of food. This is your bag of food. Should last you at least 5 days. You shout, you look on this side and shout if you see a ship. I'll go to the other side." And then the rock's, I don't know, whatever, a couple 100 feet big. It's not huge, but not tiny either. So Sanji, it starts out, and he's sitting there, and he's talking to himself, and he's going, "Okay, I got enough." He said, "I had enough food for 5 days, but just to be safe, in case a ship doesn't come in 5 days, I'm going to divide it up into 20 meals. I'll just eat 1 meal a day, and then I'll be good to go. I'll cover all my bases." Because somebody, and he's just a kid, remember, he's 9, 10 years old maybe, and he says, someone's got to come for us. So it then goes, and by the end of the first day, not even by the end of the first day, he's hungry again. Oh, and he also talks about how he can drink the rainwater that winds up collecting in these little alcoves and little indentations in the rock. So he's got fresh water, he's got food, and he starts eating it faster than he should, not making it last as long as he should. And by the end of the first day, he's like, "Oh no, I divided up into 20 portions, and now this stuff's not even going to last me that long." So it then goes, and it takes us to day 5, right? And it starts skipping ahead in days, and it goes pretty quickly, but not a whole lot happens. But on day 5, he's, okay, well, there's got to be, a ship's got to be coming soon, and there's got to be something, there's got to be someone that's going to see us, and he's talking to himself, just a few more days, and you can see how he's just kind of starting to go nuts. It winds up being in either day 5, day 10, somewhere in that neighborhood, that he actually does. It's raining, it's pouring, and he can hardly see through the rain, but he does see a ship come, and he's desperately trying to yell, "Here, here, I'm here! Come rescue me!" And he's trying to light a fire to signal them, and he can't. And it's really very somber and sorrowful, because with each passing, panel of him, there's then a panel of the ship getting farther and farther away. So ultimately, the ship does not see him through the rain. He's not able to light a fire to signal him because everything's wet. He has also said to himself, if I do see a ship, I'm just going to flag it down and go. I'm not even going to tell the crap geezer about this. I'm just going to leave him to die. So then it goes, and it flashes ahead to like day 25, right? And now he's starting to get delirious, and he's tried to make what scraps he had, left of food last. And he says, "Oh, I got 1 piece of moldy bread left." And then he starts kind of, as he's going to gnaw on that, he goes and thinks about all the food that was thrown out that wasn't even really bad when he was on the restaurant. He's starting to get delirious, obviously, from exposure and just from the fact that it's been 25 days now and he's hardly eaten a bit of food. So as this happens, he winds up dropping the piece of bread, or it blows away, or and it goes over the edge into the water, and he's like, "Damn it, that was my last piece of bread." So he's, "Oh, it's okay, I just got to hold out a little bit longer, just a little bit longer." And then the next panel, it shows day 50, and he's just haggard looking, and he just hardly looks alive. And then it says day 70, right? So now it's been over 2 months, and this kid has somehow survived, and he hasn't eaten now in over a month, just drank water. And he goes, and he's nuts, right? He's crazy. He's like, "You know what? I wonder how. I bet you the crap geezer is dead already." He's like, "I'm going to go check on him." So he goes over there and he's got his little knife and everything, and he goes and he sees the bag that that Redleg had with his food in it, and he's like, and he sees that it's still there. It's this big intact bag, and he's like, how does he still have so much food left? And then you start thinking, well, maybe that's why Redleg, chopped his leg off there. He's going to eat on his leg or whatever and save the food. He knew they were going to be marooned there for a long time. So he walks up on him, and the crap geezer, as he calls him, Redleg, can kind of sense him coming. He says, what do you need, boy? Did you see a ship? And he says, and he's all ready to kill me. He says, no, I'm coming to take, you guys still got so much food. I haven't eaten in so long, and I've come to take your food. I'll kill you for it if I need to. Otherwise, I'm dead anyway because I haven't eaten in so long. So he goes over, and Redleg doesn't even move. He's just sitting there looking out at the ocean, and the bag's kind of behind him. And Sanji goes over to the bag and opens it up, and there's no food in it, just a bunch of like treasure and jewels and things like that spill out. And he goes, treasure? What do you mean? What the hell? Where's the food? And Redleg says, yeah, a fortune in gold and treasure, but doesn't do a damn bit of good, when you're hungry. So then we find out, and I thought this was really touching, that that Redleg gave Sanji all the food. He was a kid, and that was the right thing to do. He gave him all the food and gave him the appearance that he had this bag of food, but he didn't have any food, and that's why he diced his leg off there with the rock, smashed through it. So Sanji finds that out shortly thereafter. It's all kind of clicking with him now. And then he goes and he sees that he's like, you ate your own foot? Now you can't be a pirate, And he says, yeah, I reckon not. And he says, why would you do that for me? And so now Sanji feels terrible. Why would you give me all the food and keep none for yourself and then eat your own damn foot, And Redleg says, because you had the same dream as me, the same aspirations as me. And he says, the all blue? But I thought it's just a myth. And he said, no, it's not a myth. He said, I've sailed the Grand Line, and we were out there for a year, and one day I'll get back there, but I just don't really feel much like a pirate anymore without my crew. They didn't really believe in the all blue, and they were a bunch of scallywags, but they were good folks. They were a decent bunch. And he assumes his crew is all dead, obviously from the shipwreck, so that he assumes happened. So we see, and like I said, I think it was a very touching moment. We see where Sanji feels indebted to him. So, and this is day 70, and the crap geezer, I keep calling him that just because that's what they refer to him as, but Redleg basically just kind of lays back, and he's like, that's why I said no contact, and he basically just didn't want to let the kid know what he was doing. So Sanji goes and they talk a little bit about stuff, and the chef winds up saying, he says, God, wouldn't it be nice if there was just a restaurant out here? How many people have died out here by sea, right, of exposure, starvation? Wouldn't it be nice if there was just a restaurant in the middle of the sea? So now we know where the idea for the Baratier came from. And Sanji, he says, I'm going to do that. If I survive, I'm going to have a restaurant in the middle of the ocean, that just floats around and people can come to. And so Sanji goes and makes an oath to him, and he says, I'll help you run it. I'll help you make that dream come true. And he says, you're just, you're nothing but a worthless, worthless boy. You don't know anything. You're green, you're weak. And he says, I'll become strong. So you see where Sanji got some of his stuff from, his some of that heart and some of that determination to get bigger, get stronger, get better, and why even though him and Redleg don't really see eye to eye about things, how he has this ultimate respect for him because Redleg is ultimately the one who sacrificed everything to save him, his leg, his crew, all that. So then it goes to like day 80 and then day 95 finally. It's been over 3 months now, right? And I mean, they're both just looking like they're gonna die, and all of a sudden you see the ship coming by, and you hear people going, oh, hey, I see there's 2 people over on that rock. And then, oh, really? And then somebody says, yeah, when we passed by here a couple months ago, I thought I heard something. So we can only assume it's the same ship coming back, maybe on its return voyage from earlier, that had passed by him in the rain. So that's obviously they're saved, and that's how it happened. And then it winds up, it goes back to, and it flashes, and that's why. And then Sanji kind of comes back out of the flashback, and he's like, Sanji's like, he gave everything for me, even his foot, right? And then Luffy's just like, oh man, Sanji. So now Luffy's got like mad respect for him. He's thinking, wow, this is, I really like his story, right? So I thought Usopp's was touching. This was, so that's why he has this allegiance to him. And so Sanji goes and stands up, and Pearl's like, how the hell did he survive that attack? Because prior to him going into this like 2-chapter flashback, Pearl had used one of his, ultimate attacks on him that, should have killed him or killed anyone else. And Pearl's even like, how did that not kill him? How is he still alive or conscious? And Sanji goes and stands up, and he's just like, yeah, and that's why I'm not going to let anything happen to this ship or to the crap geezer, you know, to Red Leg, and I'll die. I'll give my own life defending that dream. And I just thought that it was good. I thought it was very touching, the whole chapter. I thought it was great how, you know, at the end, Sanji kind of stood up and defied the odds, so to speak, because Pearl and really, you know, everybody's kind of looking on going, how the fuck did he just survive that? And Sanji's will and determination is certainly, like I said, it's something to be not to be trifled with. So let me know what you think, Nation, in the comments down below. Certainly feel free to hit the thumbs up button if you think I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We will look forward to catching you in the next one, Nation. As always, thank you for watching, brothers and sisters. Be sure to subscribe and take a look at some of my other videos. Thanks. See you next time, Nation.